from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening and welcome to the National News broadcast brought to you live from the National News Studios here at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I am Dishan Veerakon together with Sharon Mascarenes. A multilateral joint mechanism to guarantee food security and nutrition. A nutritious meal to 1.8 million school children. A proposal on National Council is to be tabled in Parliament on the 20th of this month. A relevant circular to reduce the age limit to 60 years on the compulsory retirement of government officials has been released. Remains of Her Royal Highness placed at the Buckingham Palace for the general public to pay their respects. Sri Lanka Legends registers their second victory in the Road Safety Legends Cricket Tournament by beating the formidable England Legends.
On to the main story for today. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has taken measures to establish a multilateral joint mechanism to guarantee food security and nutrition.
Now, under the program, 7 main committees are to be set up. A discussion for the purpose of establishing a multilateral joint mechanism with the objective of strengthening the Rural Economic Revival Centre to secure the ultimate objective of achieving food security and nutrition was held under the leadership of the President yesterday. The program anticipates to consolidate a social and economic environment enabling the general public to have access to healthy food supply at any emergency situation. No citizen should be allowed to go hungry due to food scarcity. No child should be subjected to malnutrition. The President is overall in charge of the 7 committees. The Joint National Mechanism on Food Security and Nutrition will be headed by the President's Secretary, while the Food Security and Technical Advisory Committee will come under the leadership of the Prime Minister's Secretary. The respective provincial governors will be in charge of the implementation of food security and joint provincial operations. The district secretaries will be in charge of the Joint District Mechanism on Food Security and Nutrition. The divisional secretaries will be in charge of the Regional Joint Mechanism on Food Security and Nutrition. In addition, Economic Rejuvenation and Food Security Committees comprising of Grama Nilgiri divisions of the 14,022 Grama Nilgiri divisions, development officials, assistant agriculture and production officers, Samruddhi animators, family health employees, principals of nearest schools and representatives of local government institutions will also be established. The strengthening of these committees with regional officials will help to overcome food shortages and to liberate children from malnutrition. It will also enable to ensure food security and to control the rising cost of living. Presidential Advisor Dr. Suren Bhattagoda will extend guidance for the proper implementation of the National Food Security Presidential Committee on the instructions of the President. Contributions of the private sector, non-governmental organizations, professionals and religious leaders will also be incorporated in the program. The ultimate objectives of the project include the production of 3.6 million metric tons of rice to fulfill 50% of the annual big onion requirement of the country, as well as to fulfill 35% of the local potato requirement. It also aims to make the country self-sufficient in kurakkang, mung beans, cowpea, ginger and peanuts by the year 2025. 80% of the annual maize requirement is also expected to be fulfilled. It has also been pointed out at the meeting that measures have been taken to import the necessary fertilizer requirements under the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank and also through the Indian credit line. Public sector contributions are also expected. The meeting was also attended by Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, ministers, President's Secretary, advisors of the committees, governors, ministry secretaries, district secretaries, chairmen of banks and corporations, as well as other government officials. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that food should be available for all until Sri Lanka comes out of the economic crisis. Food must be grown locally. The aim of the program is to fulfill this task as well as to ensure food security and nutrition. The President has further stated that cultivations in the Maha season have begun. He added that the country has already accumulated $200 million for procurement of fertilizer and 20 million more rupees are needed in this regard. A successful Maha season and Yala season would be able to resolve the food crisis. The second aspect of the program is agriculture modernization. The government aims to earn foreign exchange through agriculture by the end of the year 2023. The President also said that Sri Lankan population of 25 million would be mainly comprised of adult population by the year 2050. The President has requested to point out if there are any shortcomings in the program and added that the country would be able to achieve the target through the unity of all.
A preliminary discussion on opportunities available for Australian investors to engage in investments in Sri Lankan renewable power sector was held today. President Ranil Wickremesinghe presided over the meeting conducted at the President's office. The meeting was attended by several investors of Australian High Commissioner in Sri Lanka, Paul Stevens. The government has focused main attention to encourage new investments in the renewable power sector in order to ensure a continuous supply of electricity as a remedy to the existing power crisis. President's Media Division says that a preliminary discussion was held today under the chairmanship of President Ranil Wickremesinghe to reach a bilateral agreement between Nepal and Sri Lanka on the development of Sri Lanka's tourism sector and the expansion of university education opportunities.
Ambassador of Nepal to Sri Lanka, Mr. Basudev Mishra, attended the meeting held at the Presidential Secretariat. During the discussion, an agreement was reached to implement a youth exchange program enabling the youth of both the countries to join university education and tourism sector opportunities. The administrative measures to make the agreement a reality is to be done by the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Sri Lanka and the Government of Nepal. Now, the Ministry of Agriculture has taken measures to provide a nutritious meal to 1.8 million school children under the aid of the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. The FAO of the UN has agreed to provide $27 million in this regard, taking into consideration of the existing economic crisis and food shortage. Accordingly, each student in the primary sections of schools will be provided with a meal of 75 grams daily. The Paddy Marketing Board has decided to provide 82 metric tons of rice for the program. Minister Mahinda Amaravira has presided over a meeting in this regard at the ministry yesterday.
A proposal on the establishment of the parliamentary committee called National Council is to be presented in Parliament on the 20th of this month. Secretary-General of Parliament Dhammika Dasanayake says that a debate on the proposal will be taken up on the same day and parliamentary approval will be received. The Speaker will receive the chairmanship of the committee. It will also be comprised of the President, Leader of the House, Opposition Leader, Chief Government Whip and leaders of the political parties that have the strength of 35 parliamentarians. The main responsibilities entrusted upon the National Council include compilation of a national policy on short, medium and long-term policies for the direction of the economic stability and to achieve consensus on short and mid-term common programs. It has been decided at a committee meeting on the Parliamentary Affairs today to take up for a debate on the Council to be appointed by the Government on the government expenditure on the 21st of this month. It has also been decided to present a proposal to express condolences on the demise of Her Royal Majesty Queen Elizabeth II from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on the 23rd of this month. The committee has also focused attention on relaxed restrictions imposed on watching parliamentary proceedings based on COVID situation and security reasons. Now, relevant circular pertaining to the budgetary proposal to bring down to the age of 60 years the compulsory retirement scheme of the government officials. It was released under the signature of the Secretary of the Public Administration, Home Affairs, Provincial Councils and the local government.
According to the interim budget of 2022 presented to Parliament by the Minister of Finance on the 30th of last month, the compulsory retirement age has been reduced to 60 years. It was approved by Parliament and received the necessary cabinet approval. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that unemployment and youth unrest have been increased due to the enhancement of the compulsory retirement age of the government sector employees to 65 years and the compulsory retirement age of semi-government employees to 62 years. The President has further stated that this measure has also deprived government and semi-government sector officials of receiving promotions. The circular dated January 6, 2022 relating to the compulsory retirement ages has been abolished with effect from the 31st of December this year. However, the new retirement revisions relating to officials in the judicial sector as decided upon by the Constitution and judicial organizations will remain applicable. Retiring age of all government officials will be 60 years from the 1st of January next year. Officials who had already exceeded the age limit or those who complete 60 years of age by the 31st of December will be subjected to retirement on or before 31st of December this year. Applications relating to retirement will have to be directed to the Director of Pensions. The Public Administration Circular dated the 30th of September 2010 will become applicable pertaining to receiving leave prior to retirement. Officials who have completed 60 years of age but whose services are needed for a specific task should act according to the circular of 20th February 2018. The extension of services by further 10 years of officials who are entitled to a pension will remain applicable. The relevant pension salaries code is to be revised.
Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena has instructed all groups organising the 75th Independence Day celebrations of Sri Lanka to conduct next year's ceremony in a novel format, exemplifying the historic and gallant nature of the event.
Now, he has given the order at a discussion with the members of the organising committee of the National Independence Ceremony at the Ministry of Public Administration, Home Affairs, Provincial Councils and Local Government today. He has pointed out at the meeting that the President is also hoping to celebrate the event with a low cost and in a creative manner. Now, the Colombo High Court has ordered today to postpone further hearings on the case filed against the group of respondents, including parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa, till the 8th of December this year.
The case has been filed over Namal Rajapaksa engaging in an inappropriate accumulation of 30 million rupees by investing the money in the governor's corporate company while functioning as a parliamentarian. High Court Judge Navaratna Marasinghe has acceded a request made by a counsel of the third respondent Sujani Bogalagama to engage in a foreign visit from the 20th to the 25th of this month. No foreign travel bans have been imposed on other respondents as well. The Attorney General during the period of Good Governance government had filed the case against 6 suspects, including Namal Rajapaksa, under the Money Laundering Prevention Act. And we bring you foreign news now. The coffin of Queen Elizabeth II was flown down from Edinburgh to the Royal Air Force Station in South Ruislip in West London yesterday. From Royal Air Force Station in South Ruislip, her hearse was driven to the palace in central London, with thousands of people lining almost every part of the route. The Queen's coffin is expected to arrive at the Palace of the Westminster today, with the public allowed to pay respect to in the later hours. Hundreds of thousands of people are expected to queue to pay their respects, facing a wait of up to 30 hours. King Charles III and his sons Prince William and Harry will walk behind the Queen's coffin this afternoon alongside other senior royals.
Welcome back. Now in sports, Sri Lanka Legends registers their second victory in the Road Safety Legends Cricket Tournament by beating the formidable England Legends. The match played yesterday, the England Legends team scored was restricted to 78 runs. Sana Jayasuriya, in an excellent bowling spell, captured 4 wickets for 3 runs in 4 overs. Chaturanga De Silva and Nuwan Kulsekara also took 2 wickets each. The highest scorer was Ian Bell, who scored 15 runs. The Sri Lanka Legends team fulfilled the victory target of 79 runs with 7 wickets in hand. Dilshan Munavira scored 24 and Upul Taranga 23. Man of the match was Sana Jayasuriya. Sri Lanka has reached the top in the points table with the win. All matches are telecast live over ChannelEye of national television. Well, that's a wrap of tonight's Primetime News Bulletin here at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. And until we meet again next time, do take care, stay safe and good night.
The cars